Hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. We are continuing our hinterlands exploration at the library, right? Yeah, that's where we're at currently. Where we're reading the books. After that, we spent quite some time looking around for any possible points of interest. Eventually, Storm huffed and stammered out a question he'd evidently been thinking about for a while.
So, that ancestor of yours, did he do anything to deserve it?
Kinda. He was asked by a goddess to guard a cow. It was actually a transformed woman. God killed him to rescue her. He spent a few more hours looking over the few other legible fiction books damaged by water, vandalism, or vermin. There are a dozen or so from local authors, all of the same subject: Satan-worshipping goat boogeymen and their exploits, kidnapping and devouring children. In fact, though few of the volumes remained intact, it would seem these local legends once compromised an entire bookshelf of their own. I hoped they might contain a clue about the Minotaur's Hotel. Perhaps someone else from the hinterlands had some real experience with mythicals and magic, and knew about it, but no such luck. Okay. Oh, okay. There was a cloud of white moths fluttering over the road. They moved along with the breeze like a billowing curtain. Hundreds more rested on the dead trees nearby, their wings becoming the leaves of a sacred forest.
I've seen plenty of butterflies around these parts, but never moths.
Odd as it may be, it isn't proper to look a gift horse in the mouth.
What do you mean?
Moths are harbingers of good fortune and prosperity, if local folklore is to be believed, and a whole cloud of them, that's as good an omen as any I've ever seen.
You really think so?
I know so. Even just having a few around can make rites stronger and easier to perform.
So, now that you mention that, I was thinking back to that ritual you did to make my charm, boss. I've been meaning to ask you something, sir. Dunno if it's forbidden or anything of the sort, but I thought it was worth a shot.
Well then, shoot.
Could you teach me some of your magic?
Oh, did we? Yeah, okay. We go? Okay. What the fuck is wrong with you? He could have run away with the money. God damn it. I would have if I were in his place. But he didn't. He's not a bad kid. In fact, he's better than me by a mile. Hell, if I can't find the hotel, at least I'll be able to help him out. That's for damn sure. Wait, that's for damn sure better than anything I've ever done since joining the force.
Boss, what are you doing?
Okay. Doesn't he understand that I'm giving even more of myself by doing this? Oh, whoops. That rite we perform to craft your charm is called Oath of Kinship. This particular method of charm making, crafting, is based on taking what pieces of humanity we have in ourselves and honoring them, raising them up so that we may gain a place as kin of humanity, like family. And to craft that charm, I had to extend to you my own oath by putting a part of myself into that gauge of yours. Once humanity is a living, breathing thing, it needs to be cleansed of any impurity which may corrupt it, and must be tended like a flame. You should purify your gauge regularly. Alcohol, running water, and soap once per day if possible, with some salt purification 2 or 3 times a week. I take a swig of my beer. And by that, we will kindle it. If its fabrication is high quality, fabricate, okay. And, wasn't this? I thought we heard this before, but okay. And, then should its flame grow strong enough, a charm like what you've got there could give you a perfect and indistinguishable disguise. I didn't have a lot to work with in terms of material, but I know my way around these rites. I didn't want to mention it back then, but I am a trained occultist.
Wait, so?
No, I'm not a fucking devil, and I didn't steal your soul. What I'm trying to say is that if you take care of that charm for many years, one day it may get to that level. Might even be better than a passport.
Then why didn't you use this kind of charm? I only ever see you with your passport.
In truth, I had 2 of them, but they both stopped working. Traditionally, a mythical's first charm is crafted by their parents when they are born. Usually just a temporary thing until they can get a better one done, but my family's charms are good enough to last a lifetime. My grandpa made one for me when I was a kid. It was a bead bracelet. I kept it over the years, just by adding more bits of charms to by adding more bits and changing the string. But this kind of charm can fizzle out when its right master dies. Grandpa's charm was strong enough to hold out for 2 whole weeks after his death. That's how much he loved me, I suppose. My eyes were pointed towards the window, so I couldn't see the look on his face.
Sorry to hear that.
I wet my throat with a long, slow sip of beer. Cheap shit tasted like watered down piss. It's fine. All of this is something you should know, seeing as you're using this kind of this charm as well. A deep breath in, that's what that says. A deep breath out. Look him in the eyes when you're talking to him. God damn it. There's another way this charm can die, if the right master starts hating the charm owner. Not just any kind of temporary anger. I'm talking about real, burning hate. The kind that can make you want to kill someone. The charm my dad made when I was born stopped working long ago. You have no reason to worry, though. For starters, I'm not dying anytime soon. And that's what you think. And there's no way I'd ever start hating you. I may be a piece of shit, but my oaths are worth something. I made you my kin, and I'm not going back on that one. So you can trust that charm of yours to only stop working in 80 years when I'm 6 feet under. It took him another few seconds, but at least he opened his beer with a bit of a smile and took his first sip, all in one motion.
Guess I'm on board with shooting the shit for a while.
Yeah, attaboy. What did you say? What do you say we get to it then?
Guess I gotta think of some conversation topics. Well,
So that's how we started, with Storm getting the very basics out of the way first. What's it like living in the capital? How's the weather over there? That's okay.
Damn, P. Why you gotta be like that?
Shit, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to come across like that. I just wasn't thinking.
I just think you're cool, okay? Sorry I'm not good at putting that to words, but you didn't have to be an asshole about it.
Look, I'm sorry. I was lying, okay? And just being a cunt for no reason, because I'm fucked up in the head. You look great. You're not even fat. You're just robust. And guys love that. You're big in all the right places. There's nothing wrong with the way you look.
I'm a half bull man. Wait, I'm half bull man. That's everything wrong with the way I look. You don't have to lie to make me feel better.
And I'm a fucking peacock. What's your point? There's nothing wrong with me, and there sure as hell ain't nothing wrong with you. If anything, you're handsome, with and without your charm. I bet you guys, girls, and everyone in between would swoon over you. Give him the chance. But he wouldn't budge or look at me, even after I said that. Oh, good. Now you gave the kid a complex, you cunt. It just had to make him feel bad, didn't you? Okay. You get off on having control, don't you? You sick fuck. Look, I think you're handsome, and that you're cool, too. I really mean that. And I'm a gay guy, so I know what I'm talking about.
Maybe. But you still hurt my feelings.
Again, I'm sorry. I'll apologize 1,000 times if you want me to. What can I do to make this right?
I don't know. I mean, thanks, I guess. I'm happy to hear you think I look good, but it's just really hard to swallow. I don't think anyone would want to see me naked, honestly. My body's kind of weird.
What do you mean?
I don't want to talk about it.
That's fine. But do keep in mind that, depending on what you mean, my body might be just as weird as yours, if not more so. And besides, not everyone really even cares about that. Whatever it is you think is weird, and you might even be right up someone else's alley. So, don't sweat it.
Good to know I'm not the only weirdo.
You never were. And now, you don't have to be alone. Okay. Storm and I finished our beers, then cleared the beds off so that he could get some shut-eye. While he drifted off to dreamland, I spent a few hours trying to summon up another vision of that dark chamber with the crystals, but I just couldn't get a grip on it. Okay. He flicked his ears when our eyes met. For a second, I thought he was trying to swat some flies, but his grin convinced me that he was just being cheeky. He taps a hoof on the tiled floor and shook his head. I could only take that as an invitation to join. No. Figuring out the rhythm he was going for wasn't easy, but I got some decent whistling in, or perhaps Storm was polite enough to change the song on the fly to accommodate me.
The bird can sing!
Of course. How else would I get laid?
What? You don't just strut about showing off those pretty feathers of yours.
I'm afraid that ain't enough, sadly. Most men aren't convinced by my good looks alone.
Then they don't know what they're missing out on.
Ain't that cute? So, you're becoming a gentleman, aren't you? The Storm snorted and flicked his ears.
Well. I've been learning it from this one fella. He's a real fancy pants. Dressed sharp, stands proud, even flies off his accent.
Flies off his accent. Files off his accent? Pretty well?
As he don't sound like a hick. Oh, so he don't sound like a hick.
Then the little shit stuck his tongue out at me, as if he had me dead to rights. Cunt. But would you still find him trustworthy, even if he talked like some corn-fed calf?
Damn, boss. You saying I ain't trustworthy just 'cause of the way I talk. I knew you were a cunt, but I wasn't expecting you to kick me in the balls like that.
That ain't on you. You should know by now just how much of an ass I am. I like to imagine you have
some good in you. Maybe even enough to... Say, Would a good and proper gentleman like you let me add a song or two to that phone of yours? I just want something a bit different from the jazz you keep playing.
Fine. I unlocked my phone and handed it over to him. You can use this app to download. Just search for whatever you want and tap the icon here. While Storm tapped and swiped away, I got up to ask the receptionist why there was no food. He wasn't at the front door nor in the back room, so I checked the kitchen. I sighed. Come on, don't be a piece of shit. If you want Storm to get his life in order, you have to lead by example. Hell, could even use this to teach him some basic dare lessons. I held back my disgust while I reached into his pocket, a little bunch of papers and a cell phone. I let Storm have the Hail Mary mug. I am a gentleman, after all.
Not bad.
Says you. This gun tastes like ass.
Oh yeah, you'd know what ass tastes like, wouldn't you?
You should try it sometime. It ain't half bad, actually.
How do you even do that with a beak?
Some birds have awfully long tongues. Don't you know that? The Storm was pouting again. Wait. Okay. The front door slammed open. However, startling him out of it, a nun, I assume the receptionist's sister, had arrived with a respectable amount of concern on her face. I pointed towards the kitchen, and off she went.
Okay, back on topic. I downloaded a song I really liked, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I got space on my hard drive for it. Now let's not waste any more time. We have an actually decent hotel to hunt.
Whoa, we chicken out here?
I knocked on one of Storm's horns with a knuckle. Nah, I'm talking about the magic Minotaur one. Let's go. No, okay. What was the next stop? The site. Archaeological, yeah. The village of Beached Mermaid takes its name from an oddity found near its founder's old home. 300 years ago, after a chunk of the cliff's wall crumbled to reveal a cave, the villagers discovered a fossilized corpse embedded in the stone. The skeleton became well known due to its lack of a human lower body. What it had instead was a distinctly dolphin-like autonomy, hence Beached Mermaid. While the town's namesake and a noteworthy tourist attraction, it's overshadowed by the hinterland's second greatest business, its diner. We'll investigate the diner. After searching the general area for any sign of the hotel, Storm and I decided to eat there. We didn't talk much. I was in my own world thinking about where we could go next, but that didn't seem to dampen his spirits or his appetite. In fact, when I came to, he had eaten enough for an entire family. I should have made him pay for it, but I couldn't bring myself to do that. Not when he said it was his first time in his life he'd eaten in a restaurant. His mother never allowed him to go like this. We left after dessert. When I saw the bill, it almost knocked me flat on my ass. Even so, I told myself it was worth it, and that it was the right thing to do, and that I enjoyed seeing the kid like this. I didn't really believe any of those things at first, but when I saw Storm skipping to the car, yes, I didn't have any doubt. Okay. Don't do that to yourself, please. Don't choose that life. Okay. Grandpa left some important stuff there. If I'm to believe what he said, he left it for me in his will. But there's more to it, and I don't quite know where to start. It's none of his fucking business. It should just tell him. Tell him to breathe, relax. The hotel was the one thing my grandpa had that was good. Storm turned his head from me towards the landscape. Oh, excuse me. All littered with the corpses of cars and barely standing buildings on salted earth. He seemed surprised to hear of much good in that place. Yes, couldn't say I blame him. He worked for the Colonel, right? And you heard what Nini said. He snitched and got a dozen people like us killed. And that's not even half of the bad shit he got. Wasn't this? Okay. That ain't even half the bad shit he got involved with in his life. He just couldn't take the guilt, and it fucked him up. So he went out with Nini to his hotel, usually for weeks at a time. As much as I loved him, all I ever heard was that he was a lousy dad, and he never denied it. So working for the law fucked him up, then trying to find a way out of his fucked my dad up too. Then trying to find a way out of it fucked my dad up in turn. Didn't help that Grandma wasn't any good either. They were dirt poor because of everything that happened.
But, what's that down?
Wait, what? I'm doing great today.
But what's that got to do with fun in the hotel?
My grandpa was the one person who believed that I could break out of this cycle, consuming our family. Dad, on the other hand, wanted me to uphold the family tradition and going into police work. And not the nice kind. Grandpa didn't want that for me, though. It ruined him, and he couldn't stop it from ruining my dad, too. Because of him, I tried other jobs, but things didn't work out, and I had to fire a team of guys better than I could ever be, close down shop, and give up on a dream. So much blood and sweat wasted. Only thing I had to show for it was a puddle of tears and a pile of debt. I had to make a living, so I took my dad up on his offer and joined the force to do some kind of special work for him. And Grandpa didn't like that. It said I had to keep on trying something else, had to break the spiral. And he never let it go until he died. It was unexpected, just happened overnight. It wasn't pretty either. I clenched my jaw against the sudden flash of a mental image. At least it was probably quick. But he had a will, and he left me a few things. They're supposedly in the hotel. So I want to find it and bring them back to my dad. Show him that his magic hotel exists and Grandpa wasn't crazy. I want to prove that we... I hoped that Storm didn't notice how hard I'd gripped the steering wheel as I talked. From the side of my vision, I could tell he was paying damn close attention to me then. That should have tightened my... No, please. Tightened the knot in my throat. Instead, it came undone, and everything I should have held back came pouring out. It pissed me off. The whole goddamn mess. Let's say this hotel does exist. My Gramps ran away because someone's out to get him, finding that place, and he's safe there. Things are good for a while. He is earning a pretty decent amount of money, and dreamed of staying there just a little longer, just enough to save up some, then go somewhere else, elsewhere and build a nice life. But then the owner goes crazy and kicked everyone out, without even giving them the time to grab their savings or passports. So, he's back here, not a charm to his name, and no chance to but to go back to working for the Colonel. And then what happened? People get killed because his entire shithole's caught in a spiral of blood and death. It's why he ran away to the same place. He was right back in the goddamn center of it. You think that's what he wanted and wanted his life to be like? The guy just wanted to do some honest work, but there he was with no way out. So time passed. He marries, has a kid. Here and there, he searches for the hotel. Thing is, he's obsessed with it, enough to let his family starve, so he can go out and search the hinterlands. His son grows up to hate him, of course. But time and goddamn recursion loves fucking with us. So the grandson ended up hating his father too, and the family tradition for good measure. So Gramps puts the idea in my head that I can get away from all this mess. So I try, and I can't. Because it's more than a tradition, it's a cycle. Storm's hand moved over the pocket where I made him put a handful of paper clips. Good boy. Now I can't shake the feeling this whole thing's just another sick joke. I was told the owner used to say the place was meant to shelter those who were lost. And then that fucked up piece of shit kicked everyone out. What a joke, right? And now all we have to live with that and what it made us into. My grandpa ended up killing 12 people because of it, and my family's been all broken up ever since. We all hated each other. Fuck, it's a miracle we haven't all killed each other yet. Stop, goddammit, just shut the fuck up. Best part is that if I do find that place, we'll still be all fucked up with no way out. Grandpa's dead, his head was smashed in with a rock, and Dad's an alcoholic. Mom's long gone, just up and left, and here I am chasing a magic hotel in the middle of nowhere. What a beautiful family we are, huh? But all that's just the best case scenario. Let's face it, the Minotaur Hotel bullshit. This whole Minotaur Hotel bullshit. And what are the odds it's even real? Here I am looking for it, but I'm not an idiot. This whole thing really does sound like I'm the ramblings of a madman. If that's the case, then what the hell am I even good for? Don't blink, damn it, or he'll see how bad you're welling up. Is this my karma? Is it because we were created to do fucked up shit? Can I even do something good? Storm looked at me with a depth of concern that was nothing short of humiliating. Damn it. See, Storm, and that's the thing with being a mythical like you and I. History keeps repeating itself, and it fucking loves playing pranks on us. The very first P, you know, what he did. He was the watchman of some kidnapped lady. That was back in olden times, though, and the solution to that problem was smashing his head with a rock, and from his blood a whole generation of people like me came to be. Since then, it's been the same thing over and over. We did the gods' dirty work until they fucked off. And after that, we did it for the mortals' government. Worst part is, this is all a curse, you know. I'm not trying to spook you, but curses exist, and this is one of them. It's the same thing over and over. The whole mess started with an ancestor of mine watching over a prisoner, and just look at you and me now. Jesus Christ, God Almighty. Just please, don't let this end with someone smashing my head with a stone like this. Fucking pathetic. You're supposed to be the one in charge, and here you are spilling your goddamn guts to the kid while crying your eyes out. Now can Now he can see just how fucked up you really are. Probably already planning to grab your wallet and running again. Who wouldn't want to get as far away from a sick, sad bastard like you as possible? It'll probably happen the second you find a place to park. And you freaking deserve it, you goddamn piece of shit.
Don't talk about yourself like that, boss.
Okay, I'm gonna end the part here, it's getting long. So I'll see you around, everyone.